Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and today we're going to delve into the world of NFTs in a unique way. Where, as we're peeling back the layers of the NFT world, you hear about utilities and this, that, and the third, and all things that can be connected to it. So it's not just a piece of art. It has some functionality to it. And this conversation became paramount today because I've been in spaces learning about NFTs, but MGM Grand Resorts jumped into the fray. And a week or so ago, they announced they were utilizing NFT tickets as part of their latest marketing push. So a collection of NFT tickets were trialed to coincide with a performance by dance troupe Jabbawockeez out in Vegas. And YellowHeart is the platform that provided those NFTs. And we've got my man, Josh Katz here, who is going to fill us in not only on how the event went, how the trial came out, but talk to us more about YellowHeart as well. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, Jerry, good to be here.
Okay. So really exciting. Like I said, I've been learning about NFTs. Talk to me about, first and foremost, this MGM event with the Jabberwockies. What type of NFTs? I mean, you got airdrop collectibles and all kinds of stuff that went into this. Talk to me about the event and how that went.
Yeah, so the Jabberwocky event went exceptionally well. We basically were doing NFT tickets there for the last 4 weeks and running through, NFT ticket as an option. Now, it's very important because MGM as a company and their executives are very cutting edge, they're very forward thinking, and they understand that this technology is a key part of the future. They also had a key understanding going in as to the power of engagement through event ticketing. And the more that we got into the education and the use of this, the more that they really started seeing the unbridled power of connection to the people coming into the space that they could really unravel using the NFTs. So everything went very, very well. Lots of learnings. Amazing seeing NFT tickets in the wild in Las Vegas. When you're in Vegas, you got all types of people coming through. This is a show also, the Jabbawockeez, that's a hip hop, dance show. It's in the evening. They serve cocktails. You got a lot of various, personalities and behavior going on, with the overall theme being fun. And we had certain goals in introducing NFT tickets that, frankly, we achieved in a big way. And we're going through a lot of the findings, right now of what we had through this, experience. And we're finding that everything we set out to do for the most part happened. And our hypothesis around what we were going to do actually proved to be correct. So I can tell you about a few of those things.
Sure.
So the first one is really fan engagement. And it's, the whole vision with YellowHeart has been the evolution of ticketing. It's been where, if you look at the live event ticket, it's never matriculated. It's stayed the same for the last 50 years, 60 years, however long it's really been in existence, even longer than that, where it's been a receipt, a proof of purchase, and it gets you in the door, but then it dies at the door. You're scanned in, you go to your seat, and the ticket is now over. With NFT ticketing, the way that YellowHeart does it, when you scan the ticket, that's actually when it comes to life. That's when the experience begins. And with MGM and Jabberwockies, that was the case, where when people scanned into the show, first of all, they bought a NFT ticket, which of course is collectible, which is great. But what it did is it signaled to the fan that you are now part of a community. We are welcoming you into the Jabbawockeez community, into the MGM community. And because you're part of that, you're now going to be rewarded. So upon entry into the venue, the ticket holder was airdropped a food and beverage credit. That food and beverage credit is redeemable at a certain destination in the casino. And our thesis was, hey, we could send people to a certain destination as they walk out the door. And we found that over 50% of the people that had these NFT tickets immediately left the venue and redeemed those food and beverage credits at that bar that we were sending them to, which, they wouldn't have been doing otherwise. And in many of the cases, the spend ended up being greatly higher than what the credit was. So we were able to actually direct traffic out of the bar. The other thing we were really aiming to do was to build community. And with NFT ticketing, that's one of the major elements that we're trying to achieve around live events. Live events are community driven. Think about a sports event. Think about an NFL football game where everyone tailgates ahead of the game. They go to the game, they go crazy with each other, and then poof, it's over and everyone just vanishes. They never hear from each other again. Whereas with NFT tickets, the community is able to still communicate with each other, stay together, understand that they had that experience together. So with MGM and Jabberwockies, not only do we direct people exiting the show where they had this food and beverage that they could claim, but suddenly they all had just experienced something together and they were bonding over it while they had cocktails. And as opposed to dispersing to all different directions in the casino, this entire or the portion of the show went and had a cocktail together and continued their journey together. And that's what this is all about.
That's pretty dope. People, you combined the experiential experience with, the entertainment factor, and then build community. And people, what I have noticed, and maybe you have too, that people who connect over the NFT space, they tend to stay connected for the long term and even have meetups and things. So you really started something, maybe a ground base for a long-term relationship that may last 10, 20 years.
Absolutely. I'll tell you when, the vision has always been to be building communities around live events. I'm a massive music fan. I'm a sports fan. I go to lots of concerts. I'm into lots of music, but I also am into a lot of the jam band music. And these are communities where people are all about their friends and who they're going to festivals with and who they're hanging out with. And it took me 30 years to build a community. The NFTs allow you to find your people right away. Find your tribe, find the people that you want to hang out with because you both own that NFT and the blockchain's transparent. So you can be like, oh, you know what? Jerry's also got that NFT. He's got a similar interest as me. Let's connect. And, essentially what we're doing is we're building the earliest frames of what will actually be a real social network where it actually involves real life.
Okay. Yeah. I'm learning. I'm in the Twitter spaces and it's mostly NFT or crypto related, and, trying to get my education so I can do editorial pieces like this and asking semi-intelligent questions. So explain to us, let's get technical for just 1 second.
Sure.
People buy NFTs and the layperson at this point, although, that world is shrinking, the layperson is shrinking in the world of NFTs. When we're talking about utility, so like Travis Scott was the first person to drop a failed music NFT. People didn't understand about gas prices and fees and minting fees and this, that, and other. Talk to us about how it's evolved and how YellowHeart kind of streamlined the process.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to a little more than a year ago, where we in March of 21 released the first ever music and ticketing NFT with the rock band Kings of Leon.
Love them.
And when we released that, the fans were starving. They were coming out of COVID. The band hadn't been around for a long time, and they were looking for something to buy. And we put it out, and when fans went to go buy it, these were people that had never experienced NFTs before. And they were like, wait a second, you mean it's $50 plus gas fee? What's a gas fee? Is that a service fee? No one understood it was the fee for the autonomous network for the validators to get paid, the people that validate the blockchain. But to the normal person, excuse my language, that's kind of BS. They're like, what is that? Why is it 50 plus? And in a lot of cases around that release, because it was 20, Q1 of 21, Ethereum gas prices were very high. And in often cases, it was a $50 album plus a $60 or $70 gas fee. So it almost doubled the price of the purchase. So we woke up from that. And as a company pre-COVID, we were always envisioning how this would run on what's called the layer 2. A layer 2 is a chain, a blockchain that runs on top of another blockchain where every transaction doesn't have to be validated one by one. They're done in batches. So those fees are dispersed over all of the various assets that are going through the validator. So we at the time had been on a protocol called Near Protocol. Near Protocol is a great protocol. It still exists. But we actually moved shortly after Kings of Leon over to something called Polygon or Matic. And what that does is it runs what we call gasless, where there are no gas fees. It basically mints without the gas fees. And we found that to be much more user-friendly. And what we're trying to do at YellowHeart is really use the technology without mentioning the technology to create a better user experience, create these communities, but not go back to the user and be like, oh yeah, well, you're on a blockchain and now you got to pay a gas fee and you're using NFTs, so you got to pay the fees. Well, no one wants to pay the fees, and all anyone really wants is just a better experience. So having fees on top of a purchase does not add to a better experience. It's actually much worse. So right now we move there. And the other thing that came about with the layer 2s is they're much more environmentally friendly. And the environment around blockchain minting is a major, major topic, because anytime you're creating an industry that relies on the heavy use of energy, it becomes something that can be very detrimental to the environment. So it's pretty important that we're using renewable energy and we're reducing the amount of energy used for the overall industry. So in moving to a layer 2 like Polygon, for the same gas fee that we would mint one NFT on the Ethereum mainnet, which is what it's called, we could do at this point about 12,000 NFTs for the same energy use and cost on the layer 2. So as a company, YellowHeart just absorbs it, and now we're what's called gasless.
Okay. Look at us getting educated here. Josh, go do your thing, man. So I'm looking at YellowHeart, and it just seems like not only you're building communities, but you seem to be like an advocate for the consumer. You're making your money. Your client is making their money with their event or whatever, but also you're bringing like extra value and creating like dedicated fans and customers for your clients. Pretty slick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those communities are real. We've done this now, community building around quite a few artists. And what we're finding is that the fans, they want to be part of something. They want to be recognized as being a fan. They want to be given access, media opportunities. And we found that through the channels that exist today, whether it's Twitter, Discord, the fans have a voice, and all you need to do is listen. So I had an experience actually 2 years ago where we put out a NFT with an artist named Portugal the Man. It's a rock band. And essentially when that was getting ready to come out, I was in Discord, and I basically went to the fans and I said, hey, what do you guys want? And they did not hesitate to tell us. And then we gave them what they wanted. It's a pretty simple formula.
Yeah. Yeah. In this day and age, I mean, with all the slickery and scamming that's going on, to actually get what you want from someone is.
You'd be surprised, Jerry, like a lot of companies don't listen. They have their own ideas. I'm going to tell them what they want. Well, you know what? That's not how things work. Who ever wants to be told what you want? You have an idea and you love a band, you love a team, you love something, and you kind of know what you want from them. And now it's a matter of whether they're going to give it to you or not.
Yeah. I don't want to be told what I want.
Yeah.
I was told we won the Iraq war, but that wasn't true. I got there and said, this is not what I want.
Come on.
So I love it. No negative, no shade on anybody. I'm kind of playful, and I apologize if that throws you off, but I am just overwhelmed as I go into each and every room, and I get to talk to subject matter experts such as yourself about how the NFT campaigns are going to be a part of our future economy. They give people not only a chance to make money, but to create the communities that stick together, and togetherness is what we need. So do you see, I'm going to ask this political question anyway, do you see getting any kickback or pushback from the powers that be about the ability of NFTs to really bring people together?
All right, so definitely no kickbacks, but pushback for sure. And but it's a good thing. So the NFTs are in an interesting space right now. And what I mean by that is, if you go back 18 months, even shorter than that, no one even knew what an NFT was. At the time, I know personally, I was running around even before COVID, and then, even, year and a half ago, preaching about these things nonstop. And I was being told by everyone, like, what the hell are you talking about? Nobody cares about digital assets. And things changed pretty quickly. And the way that they were born over the last year and came to materialize was around what we call a profile picture. And what it was, if you think about it, there's always been what's called social currency.
Right.
It could be a handbag, it could be a pair of sneakers, it could be a watch. It's something to show and signal other people that you have means. Now, when you flip to the world that we live in today, everything's digital. You're not hanging out with your friends in real life as much as you are looking at them on Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or TikTok. And when you're looking at your friends there, what is social currency? What it is it's a $100,000 profile picture. Oh, he had a $100,000 profile picture. That's social currency in the digital world. So that was the 1.0 of NFTs, where NFTs offer the ability for provable ownership and provable scarcity. So when things like Bored Ape came out exactly a year ago, it's literally a year ago to this week, people went in, and the core NFT community came in and said, we're going to all make these our profile pictures. There's 10,000 unique ones, so every one of us doesn't have to look the same. When I put out Kings of Leon right before that, we did 5,000 albums, but every one of them was the same. Now, there's 10,000 unique, profile pictures or characters you could buy, and everyone goes and makes it their profile picture. Celebrities jump in, the price goes through the roof, and now they're about 300K, even in the downturn right now, and people have this social currency. So now that starts to happen, and all of these copycats come along. And you start with the Bored Apes, then you have the hippos, the rhinos, the lions, the dogs, the everything you could think of. Some are great because at the end of the day, when you have thousands of artists suddenly doing digital art and selling it, of course you're going to have amazing artists that come out of the woodworks. You're going to have lots of scams, though, lots of rug pulls, lots of bad actors. But you also had people like Ferocious, who's an incredible young artist, probably like the Warhol of our time, come out of the movement. You have lots of other, like, Murakami entering the space, and everybody. And those artists now
from Psycho Kitties.
Yeah, like, all of this kind of entering in there, and that's great and all, but you also had lots of bad actors. So that was kind of the 1.0 use case, and it's still going on. And I'm going to quickly jump to the 2.0, which is actually the use of utility. It's actually saying these NFTs are amazing technology, not just to have a provable profile picture, but to actually do things like ticketing, to root out bad actors and fraud, to root out middlemen in businesses like any type of broker business. And they have great functionality, but nobody's really, or people are just starting to now bring it to life. And that's what YellowHeart does. YellowHeart actually uses this technology to create a better experience. We're not out there trying to say, oh, buy one of these and make it your profile picture. We're trying to say ticketing is better because it's on this technology. We don't even mention it's an NFT, or we try not to, but it's just better because you're bringing it to life, you're community building, you're able to stay in touch, you're able to root out fraud and counterfeiting and other things with the use of this technology. So that's really where it's all headed, is into utility based. So it's at an interesting point now, but really, let me actually get to your question. So now you're starting to see the government and the regulators peek their heads out and say, okay, are these digital assets? What are they? Are they buying art? Are they buying an experience? Like, what are these? So to me, as a company that's really building, we're just trying to evolve live events. It's really refreshing to see regulators come in and say, okay, let's make the tide go out, leave all the garbage on the beach, and now the real people in this space could excel, because we're getting rid of all the noise, all the people that are not treating consumers properly, that are in here for the wrong reasons, that all jumped in last year when profile pictures went to 100K, are getting rooted out. So I'm really looking forward to the evolution of this, and for kind of the technology to become forefront.
Yeah, I'm a mad hair holder, and my PFP is, of course, a mad hair. Somebody offered me 20 grand. I'm like, are you serious? This is the new economy?
That's it.
Oh my God. So, I'm going and try to get everything at floor price. Anyway, but so YellowHeart protocol. On there, attach a wallet. So you have to, so it's not CDC based. I mean, crypto.com or Coinbase or any of that, or MetaMask or Trust Wallet. It has its own wallet. And talk to me about that.
Yeah, so YellowHeart, so let me just this is important. Let me differentiate. So there's two different things going on here. There's YellowHeart, the company, and then there's the YellowHeart protocol. Okay. They're two separate items.
Okay.
YellowHeart, the company, is an active company using the YellowHeart protocol to power our live event ticketing and our community building and our music products.
Okay.
The protocol could be, frankly, used by any company. It's open to be used, and it creates utility to basically build a peer-to-peer network around ticketing. So essentially, YellowHeart, the company, if you look at our marketplace, YH.io, that company has its own wallet, but actually could work with any wallet. All of the NFTs or tickets or anything that we actually put out work across any what's called EVM compatible wallet, which is a wallet on any blockchain that is based off of Ethereum. So, which is by far the number one, used blockchain. So we could work with any wallet out, but we were forced last year to create our own wallet. And the reason we were forced to create our own wallet is for a number of reasons. The first was that we were doing live event ticketing, which means that we're putting out, a ticket in NFT format, and we needed that ticket to be read. You need to get in the door.
Right.
And there was no other wallet in the market that would support a rotating QR code to actually say, hey, this is Jerry, this is real, scan him in, enjoy the show, sir. And we had to do that. The next thing we found was that we wanted to put out streaming media. So no other wallet supports streaming media. So we built a wallet that supported both audio and video streaming media. The next thing that we found is once we put out the media, almost all NFT media today is on what's called IPFS, Interplanetary File Sharing System. And what that means is that it's public, so that even if I don't own the NFT, I can go check out the media. So YellowHeart, in putting out music, said, wow, we don't want that. We want it to be exclusive, so that if you go to a concert and that ticket gets you access to watch that concert the next day, only you could watch it because you're holding that NFT. And then if you want to sell that NFT, you could sell it because there's value there. So the next guy could watch it, but he can't watch it unless he buys it from you. And we built all of that so we'd have our own wallet that was media rich and actually had the functionality to to perform in a live environment.
Okay. Yeah. All of that was confusing to me at first. I was like, okay, so you've got a piece of art and it's tied to the blockchain, and then you've got this record or a song. The song file is attached through the blockchain into the piece of art, and the only way you can hear it is on that piece of art. So that's why I mentioned the Travis Scott piece. He did what, a million albums, limited to a million or something like that. And you know, people are still having problems getting that. So you've rectified that issue.
We have, yes.
Tech issue. Okay.
Yeah. You know, it comes down to what's called Web 2 versus Web 3. In Web 2, basically, you don't own anything. You know, it's sitting on someone else's server. And, you know, you go and you log in, you know, and you say, hey, could I have permission to look at this? And they say, oh, yeah, you know, your subscription's up to date. Welcome in. In Web 3, you actually own that. You don't have to ask permission of anyone. And that's why you need a wallet, so you can actually custody it and hold on to the thing that you own.
Okay. Look, I got to ask, I told you I was going to ask you this. What was the defining moment that brought you into the space?
So summer of 17, I was in the space. I was actually in it prior to that, you know, but in it trying to navigate it, trying to understand it. I was deep in the education. I was actually hosting the New York Ethereum meetup at the time, just because I wanted to be around really smart people who understood this stuff. And I was just a student. I was literally a fly on the wall, just absorbing as much as I could like a sponge, often not understanding things, but writing them down, going home, Googling them. A lot of the stuff was not online, and I'd have to call people and have it explained to me. And the technology wasn't anywhere as advanced as it is today. So I was just absorbing. And summer of 17, I'm deep in the space, just trying to learn, trying to figure out how I'm gonna, you know, be in the space. And I go to see my favorite band, which is the rock band Fish. And they play 13 shows in Madison Square Garden in New York through July and August of 17. I go to the first show, it's great. I go to the second show, and my wife informs me that she doesn't want to be in regular seats that I'm able to get through people I know with the band, but she wants to be down on the floor with all of the fans. And I say to them, hey, can I get floor seats? And they go, oh, no, you got to buy those. So I start buying them on StubHub, and they are astronomically expensive. And I'm like, wow. I said, this is kind of crazy. And it's one thing if you go to a concert and you overpay one night, you say that was great, you wake up the next day and it's over and you move on with your life. It's another thing if you do it for another 11 nights in a row. And I'm every day waking up being like, oh my God, why am I paying $1,000 for tickets that have a face value of 140? Where is this money going? If it was going to the guys on the stage, I'd be cool with it, but it wasn't. It was going to what we call scalpers. And it was going to bad actors that basically take the tickets, mark them up, and created this cottage industry around ripping off fans. So that was my entire premise. And I brought this back to the Ethereum meetup I was hosting. Before it got started, I said, hey, everyone, I'm going to whiteboard something for a minute. And I explained what I just explained to you, that the tickets are $70, but they're going for $500. Why is that? And we got into it, and we realized that a smart contract could alleviate that. And YellowHeart was born.
Okay. I love it. What's the most important thing that we should know about Josh Katz and YellowHeart?
Most important thing you should know is really our ethos, which, you know, really boils down to the name of YellowHeart. YellowHeart means to have a heart of gold and to be compassionate and to care about others. And that we are a socially responsible company first. And we were built purely for fans and artists, not for the business. And our goal as a company is to connect fans with artists and teams and to get out of the way. And that's all our mission is.
Okay. I love it. You know, you ain't got your producer all in the video Yeah. Okay, that's my Suge Knight reference. I'm sorry. I have had a great time with you, Josh, and I appreciate that you've taken the time and brought so much value to the conversation. I appreciate the fact that it wasn't an interview, it was a conversation, and you allowed that to go there. So thank you so much for that. Parting shot.
Listen, the parting shot is I encourage everyone to buy an NFT, or if you come to YellowHeart, we have lots of free NFTs, and just become comfortable with the technology, because the same way, if we told you that everyone's going to be walking around with a phone in their hand, talking to their friends, shopping, ordering food, you wouldn't have gotten it. Everyone's going to be basically using this technology in the years to come. And I encourage everyone to not be intimidated. Don't listen to the nonsense around crypto and expensive NFTs. And this is just going to become the norm. The profile picture thing is cool, but it's not going to be all that this is about. And we're going to just get used to this being the future. So I encourage everyone to kind of jump in and just embrace it.
I'm trying to, with my old tail, I'm trying to get into it. I recommend everybody else be around the corner thinking, because for real, when you can't go to the bank and get change, that you're in trouble. And so you've got to put your money somewhere that's going to be available to you, regardless of the situation in the terrestrial world. So I'm learning. I learned late, but I'm slow. And I am really happy that I found out about YellowHeart. I love the project. I'm coming to Vegas. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to explore, and I'm going to take in the show, and I'm going to get my tickets through YellowHeart. I love the fact that you're taking the power out of the hands of the scalpers. I have been a victim. Those Laker game tickets were, oh
Crazy.
my God.
Crazy.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money. It was crazy. But so thank you so much for sharing with us. You have a friend here at the Hype Magazine. I will welcome you to come back anytime you have like a new initiative or a new campaign that you think we should know about. I would love to be, one of the aggregators for that story.
I love it too. So thank you.
All right. Josh Katz. YellowHeart is the company. NFT tickets with a lot of utilities and functionalities is the new reality. And we appreciate you. Looking forward to hearing from you again. Welcome back anytime you want. And we're out.